Hi, Varsha.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing? I'm just going to
I'm
start
doing
now.
great.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hello, everyone. Today, we have a very special guest with us, Varsha Sutrave. She's a very well renowned yoga instructor. And today, we'll be talking about wellness, energy at home, and how, the colors and being active at home during these times can actually help you. So, as you know, today we are facing a time that is not only unprecedented but also has changed our world view of things. The coronavirus induced lockdown has confined us to our homes and limited physical spaces, which raises many questions. In such a scenario, taking care of our mind and body within our home becomes, an important conversation, guys. So, before we begin, let me introduce myself. I'm Sourabh Agarwal. I'm the owner of Millenium Marbles. We are a 21-year-old imported natural company. We get marbles, onyx, travertine, and granites from 15 countries in 300 plus colors. And our factories are located in Silvassa and Shulagiri. So today we are joined by an experienced yoga instructor, as I said earlier, an educator, Miss Varsha Sutrave. She has taught yoga around the world and has been recognized by esteemed organizations. Is that correct? Did I get that right?
Yes, I've taught esteemed organization. Or I think you could probably name some of the
Could
awards.
you
You can,
please tell us some of the organizations that
yeah.
you had fun
Thank
working
you,
with?
Saurabh, first of all, for
Yeah,
the kind words and the lovely introduction.
you're
Yeah.
most
So
welcome.
yes, I have. I just got to India, in fact, before the pandemic, before which I
Okay,
had a little stint in Australia,
okay,
and I had a good experience there working with various health experts at some of the biggest wellness festivals in Australia.
hmm
So there was one called Mind Body Spirit, and I worked with the Consulate General of India there at
wow,
Sydney. Yeah, so we used to take sessions for them. I had a chance to teach at Mauritius and be
wow,
covered by their media. So
wow.
yeah, of course. So a few of them just to
But
name.
yeah, that's nice. I didn't know this. I didn't know this actually. I mean, I really didn't know, and that's tremendously nice. That's good.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's probably there on the profile.
Okay,
You
I'll
know.
have a look. I mean, that means no, I did read your profile. Don't say that. See, guys, I did read a profile. It's not that I missed through it, skimmed through it, but anyways. So can we
Right.
move on to the first question? Is that okay?
Yes, yes, please.
Just a little thing, guys. Varsha will be talking about obviously as she shines light on her expertise, which is importance of yoga, and how also we can optimize a physical space to two things that we really need now is peace and mindfulness, right? So Varsha, please tell us in today's scenario, what value does yoga bring into our lives?
I think yoga is and has always, over the years, decades, centuries, brought a lot of value to mankind and humanity. But particularly given the pandemic, and since we're restricted to our homes, like you rightly pointed out, and there's a growing interest for not just yoga, but I think anything natural as we speak. So I think right from sustainability to people wanting to use natural products, whether it's clothes, anything at home, bringing plants indoors, uh, everybody is moving in that direction, and we know that the world needs more of it. It's a lot of this what do you say, artificial jazz and unnatural stuff that is has got us to this stage, first of all.
That's
And
right.
I think yoga and mindfulness, why it's so easy and it is so important is because you don't need anything else. All you just need is you to get
That's right.
started. You don't need any equipment, you don't need anything fancy. So I think it's a very easy solution.
That's true. And do you think, I mean, also it's just a personal thing that I wanted to ask you, since you said people should get into yoga so that, once this pandemic gets over, I mean, something that they can, is yoga something that they can easily continue afterwards also, maybe say, I don't know, 15 minutes, half an hour, besides the walking or the other exercises that they're doing. So is that a good, I mean, like a continual, I mean, maybe say thrice a week, 4 times a week, I don't know. Maybe they could
Absolutely.
do something with it.
Yeah. Yeah. If somebody's passionate about yoga, of course, it could be chosen as the sole physical activity that I want to do. And people have this misconception that yoga is very slow and it's very, there is one side of yoga that is slow, but yoga can be very, very strengthening. In fact, you could build equal amount of strength as you would build with any kind of weights or weight training, with just body weight training in
Exactly.
yoga. And I always recommend this to my students that the physical activity that you choose should be something you love. So just because yoga has a healing beneficial effect, you need not
That's
have
it.
to choose that. If you love running, if you love swimming, if there's something else you like a sport, do that 2-3 times a week and incorporate yoga 2-3 times a week, because that definitely has every asana that we do in yoga, that is
That
every
is true.
posture, yeah, is got very, very therapeutic
That's right.
advantages.
So moving on, next one, I think it's kind of related. Pardon me if you've answered, but mindfulness, it's a quality that is propagated by yoga. Do you think it enhances your one's general well-being? The audience that is watching this right now, the recording that they'll be watching, I want them to understand from you. You'll be expert, so because everyone's worried, anxiety, depression, tension, anything. So it's all part and parcel of a well-being. So are there different things that they can do?
Yes. In fact, all the practices that we do in yoga, even if it's a yoga posture, the very physical aspect of yoga, the exercise aspect, as well as, of course, pranayama and meditation are directly linked to mindfulness. Okay,
Okay.
mindfulness is nothing but just slowing things down, right? Taking one thing at a time, as opposed to what we are used to now. We want to do multitasking, we want to do 10 things at a time, and then you have so much on your head, it gets all puzzled up. And when that happens, then your breathing becomes very shallow. And when breathing is not deep enough, then it affects all the organs. All of the organs, the functioning of the organs come under
That's
stress.
right.
So, yes, I think mindfulness is something that each one of us has to inculcate, and yoga beautifully brings this about. So even though you're doing a physical activity through yoga, even in the asanas we speak about mindfulness, like you touch upon different parts of the body, so your mind is entirely
Focus on that.
yes, completely focused.
Is it like you could say it's like a kind of meditation in a way, because you're focused upon yourself and you're breathing, and then you're doing those asanas and movement, or a flow as you call it, and then you have to concentrate, otherwise you're not going to get it right.
I often tell my students in the classes that all the asana you're doing is movement in meditation. So
Okay.
if you're not moving consciously, if you're not moving synchronized with your breath, then you're not doing an asana. Then you're just
That's
doing a random exercise.
random. You have to breathe. Breathing is important.
Yes,
So do you think
breathing with
also,
every exercise.
yeah, breathing is important, sorry. So do you think also the space that we live in affects our peace of mind? Uh, in the entire
Very
ambience of the
much.
house?
Yeah, very much. It's I think any place you go, of course, home is where you spend majority of your time, but all of us know this. Sometimes you just step into a place and you just feel like, you don't belong there, or you feel like I don't like the vibe of this
That's
place,
true.
right? It happens to us. I mean, I'm sure each one of us has experienced this. So home is a space where you have control, right? So I think you should really be mindful of what you pick and choose to be as a part of your space. Yeah.
That is
And
right.
I think, like we were speaking earlier, the world is now tending towards everything natural. Even if we see, I think the latest interior trends, I think people are going all natural. Yes.
How do you think we
Um,
can? Yeah, you were saying something. Sorry.
you can go ahead and ask
Okay.
any question. Yeah.
So just another thing, I mean, and then talking about how the space affects our peace of mind, and how can we optimize a living space to enhance energy and mindfulness. Then how do you
Right.
get
I
that?
think, yeah. One important aspect I think that's kind of a constant would be, a flooring, walls, ceiling, the other things you can still move around. So I think when people choose their flooring, like natural stones, like marbles, and even like onyx, I think all those have a very, very
That's right.
beautiful, positive,
Colors,
calming
colors are
effect
right.
on us. Yeah. And then when you're choosing these, then you want to pick based on the space you are in. Like, you might want, if you want a calming effect in that space, you want to choose the right colors. Like, we all know that white has a more calming effect. When people, I think when people are designing restaurants or some other kind of what do you say, meditation spaces, they want to use very warm colors, so you feel
Mm-hmm.
cozy, you feel
That's
like you
right.
belong there, right? So I
So,
would highly suggest you get in touch with, people can get in touch with an expert in this space, maybe like yourselves, like a
oh,
marble
thank you.
expert,
Thank you. Thank you.
before
Well,
before designing a space. If you can tell, maybe you can speak a little bit about
yeah.
how Millennium Marble provides any. You said you said you provide some kind of consultation to people
Consultation,
before they can.
yes, yes, we do. So I think this was supposed to be, I was supposed to be asking you questions now, it's I feel. So just start putting me on, trying to help you guys now.
We're
So
just having a conversation, sort of.
yeah,
So
I just
keep it two
just
way.
just two friends talking, right? Let that be
Yes,
clear to the audience here.
right.
Yeah. So yeah, guys. So we do provide a consultation. See, we have this website, millenniumconsults.com, that we built up. We
Nice.
provide
I didn't know about
consultation,
that.
Millennium Consult. So we provide consultation on in Silvassa and Shulagiri. How we do that is like me and Varsha are having the Zoom call. Either we could consult with you at your time on a Zoom call by showcasing the certain products that we have, or we can get a specific time at the factory. You come in with your blueprints, your ideas, your furniture color, etc., etc., and then we tell you that this is going to match your theme, this is going to match your budget, this is going to match what you like, this is going to match your quantity. At the moment, Varsha, and to the audience, I would say there are people who are very worried on the price factor. That
Hmm.
हमको best, I want the best
Yeah,
चाहिए
but
for the least
yeah, but
price.
in a budget.
I
Yes.
also feel like that at times, but when you're going for marble, you're spending lakhs, and 10%, 15%, 20% here, it's not going to hurt you. It will actually last a longer time.
True. I think,
I'm
yeah,
not,
def quality.
yeah, I'm not saying the lower quality marble is bad at a place, but I'm just saying, we sometimes we can't convince the customer. We don't have that price point that they're looking for. And so
Right.
we have a website, millenniummarbles.com. We have our apps that you guys can download on Android, iOS, and you can see a live stock. So we are the only
Okay. You
company
have
in
the
India.
apps. What are the apps called?
Millennium
Again was
Marbles.
no.
Millennium Marbles. It's on Android and iOS.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we are the only company which has a live stock on. So it's like entire factories online. Just the stocks are online. You can see it live, and it's updated with my wonderful team. It's updated
You guys are
twice a
pretty
week
tech
right now.
savvy, yeah, for a
We're
very
trying. We're
civil
trying.
company.
We're trying. The building materials company. We're trying. So we sort of started. Not I would say brag about, but like a idea why we didn't want to sit idle in the factories twiddling our thumbs.
Hmm.
So why don't it's like expose ourselves out there, something you love doing, I love doing, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. So we start with a basic idea. Now we have a very structured way of doing things, emails, etc. So uh,
True.
I think enough about myself now. These guys are actually waiting for you to talk maybe a little bit more about how they can motivate themselves to take up yoga. How can they do that, and
Yeah.
how can they start? Because everyone's asking, exercise is easy, yoga is easy, running is easy, cycling, swimming is easy, whatever. I mean, you can't swim now, but so how can they motivate themselves? How can they motivate the others around them?
I think the key aspect to motivation is it has to come from within somehow.
That's right.
Like, I think over time you realize, okay, I think my bodies have had enough of
Yeah.
lying around probably doing nothing. But I think motivation is something, because even if it's extrinsic, right, it will probably last some time.
That's right.
One of the things that has probably worked over ages is doing it in groups, right, instead of doing it by yourself, because that really keeps you going, because there are other people inspiring you to do it. I, in fact, in the last lockdown, when Modi announced it the second time, I started. I was at home. All the yoga studios were closed. I had moved back to India, and I was like, okay, kya kare? And just started online classes. And I was very skeptical about teaching yoga online. But I think it's going pretty well. People feel they don't have to drive, they don't have to find parking space, they don't have to change into, proper gym wear. They can just do it from home. So I think that has, that has really helped. I think starting your day with good energy, it just helps the rest of the day get very, very streamlined, and you're a lot more efficient.
There is something that, I don't know, but there's some people who are working throughout the day, and maybe they want to, so there's something as night yoga or bedtime yoga or evening yoga or some sort of exercise that they can do just to, they are binded, they are like entire day working, so they want to loosen themselves up, relax. Maybe, is there something, yoga part that caters to that kind of people also? Exercises?
There's literally yoga for everything. Yeah,
guys, believe that.
Yeah, but I think this is kind of become a little bit of more of marketing. A regular yoga every day will just ensure that your well-being is taken care of in every way, physical, mental, emotional, psychological, all of it. But yeah, these days we have yoga for pregnancy, yoga for insomnia, for sleeplessness, yoga for this. So these are just ways where you are looking for something and they are just trying to create it. But in general, I feel a 1 hour of regular yoga, at least 3 to 5 times a week would be absolutely great. Yeah. So
I tried yoga. So I mean, earlier it was like half an hour, 25 minutes. Today I did something, something.
That's wonderful.
Suggested that, so 25 minutes I did, and then 18 minutes, sometimes it's 40 minutes. So I do walking, running, or because the gyms are closed in my apartment, and then I can't, do much. Otherwise, it goes weights for me. I don't want to get negative on the
rusty.
Zoom, but yeah, I feel rusty, and I really don't want to go for weights. Sometimes I use weights, but I don't know. Maybe yoga is something that I feel I can do it anytime. It's like I'm looking forward to it. It's like frees me up, sort of a thing. So
yeah, it frees us.
Yeah, sorry. Mind. No, sorry.
Yeah, it frees us physically. Yeah, even
mind.
I think even emotionally and mentally, it makes you feel a lot more open and spaced out. And I feel like people who, since you were talking about people being seated throughout the day, I think you should get up and move about every at least 20 to 20 minutes or every 40 minutes. Just go around, take a stroll and come back, or get up, do a few stretches and sit back. So which is why I think another reason why people are choosing to renovate their homes a lot more, I think, because they understand that the pandemic is, or work from home is going to be there for long. Yeah, and in fact I moved into a new home a few.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you so much. So I keep getting asked a lot from my friends about what can we do and etc. I wish I knew you much earlier. So I used to get very confused. I have gone through that process of deciding my flooring and gone to some of the marble factories.
So what did you find confusing? Was it any process that, or anything that you wish did not happen with you?
I think you're spoiled for choices in today's capitalist world. That is one. And even when I stepped into the marble factory, I couldn't understand. I mean, of course, I went and even checked out the process. Maybe you should tell us a little bit about that. I found it very fascinating how it is polished, and then there was some happening in the background.
I mean, I can show pictures later maybe, but I don't have it. I don't have anything arranged now since you are. So see, the blocks come in, it's blocks. It's put in an area called a gantry, I said, block storage area. And we have a video on YouTube, in fact, entire process.
Okay.
So guys watching, you can go to our YouTube channel, type in Millenium Marbles, and you'll get steps video that we've created, YouTube steps. So it has step by step 17 or 18 processes that get from a rough block to your finally home, dispatched to your house, sort of a thing that we've shown. So it's a block.
I've seen that rough block, and then you can tell that, okay, this is natural material coming in. It's not like the toxic concrete plastic that we're always surrounded by, the
No,
artificial materials.
and the best part is, see, even though marble quarrying happens around the world, Italy, Spain, Turkey, Norway, Brazil, Canada, that we get it from. So all these countries still use old methods, but there is no carbon emissions. There is zero, and it's not. It's natural. You're not, using something again. It's not, remaking something again. So it's natural in all the process. The least carbon emission that you can have, and it is contributing, in fact, to the entire environment aspect. Also, the marble natural. That's why I am.
It's also way more long lasting, right? Sorry, I think I just.
No. You're right. Long lasting also. Now you get ceramic tile technologies which have man-made with more compactness, more strength. Yes, but it's. I tend to go more the natural way, and the designs are more natural. Nature is nature. Like, you are inspired by nature. Yes, you can create your own patterns, designs, and this pattern, that pattern. But yes, at the end, nature is its way to go. But some people do prefer ease of thing. They don't have time. They are working, moms, dads, couples, whatever, and then they don't have. They want to get the house done quick. But nature is nature. Marble has thermal properties. It's more therapeutic to nature. When you're walking on marble, it helps you health-wise, etc. And that's another.
Yes. In fact, even with yoga, we talk. There's a lot of importance given to using bare feet and bare hands. That's why we don't do yoga with shoes on. Right, so there's a whole study about barefoot walking and how it helps us, because you have these acupuncture points on your hand, and they relate to different organs in the body. So I think people Google flexology, then they will know different parts of the hands and legs stimulate different. So I think if you can walk on, be like
that's connected. That's connected to nature. So anyways. Then we can all. I mean, there are different colors, marbles, and then things that people can go for. So it all depends.
Maybe you could talk about like marble. I think the colors, that was something also very confusing for me. I mean, I know the whole ideology behind emotion therapy and colors, but when you go into this huge collection of marbles, you don't know what to put forward.
See, there are primary factors, depends on the region in India where you're coming from. So West prefer, for example, very vaguely, West people prefer, Maharashtra, Gujarat prefer grey colors. Little darker tones. In the south, you can encompass Hyderabad, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, etc. They prefer lighter shades. The perception here is that lighter shade makes your space look bigger, grander.
Bigger, correct.
It's more peaceful, calm. We also did a recent blog about it. You guys can check it out on blog.milleniummarbles.com. That how beige affects the tone, and the mindfulness energy at home.
Right.
And then your
thoughts become much more clear, and you feel
more clear. And so the audience is obviously thinking right now, why does Sourabh even have darker colors at his factory? So it is just to complement. It is just
to bring in a contrast. Right?
Bring in a contrast. Everyone's not same. Varsha wants a different shade of beige. I want different shade of beige. Yeah. She wants grey. I want different. So it's just to cater to different qualities of people. To some, darker, a grey could be a lighter grey. That could be appealing to somebody. Doesn't have to be a darker grey. So it just complements. And people go for plain designs. People go for everything. Bathrooms or puja rooms. Now even people are getting adventurous. In puja rooms, they're using onyx and white stones. White purity.
You have that backlit.
Backlit, yes. Onyx is translucent, so the properties itself, command those gorgeous designs and everything all together. So that's what happens with it. And so color-wise, see,
those beautiful. The textures and patterns on the onyx.
Yeah, onyx has beautiful patterns, is natural. So you get from 3 or 4 different countries basically, and then the color is chosen depend on your the age group, the people, the mind. Like you would choose something different. Your parents or your family would choose something different. Or somebody else working would choose something different. So it depends on the budget also, obviously. Right. More than the budget, it's the idea that the people are trying to go for at the home. So,
true.
Varsha,
I think I would definitely. Yes.
No, go ahead. No, you've stopped enough for me. Just go ahead, please. Tell me.
Yeah, I was just saying that even me as a person, I would obviously use something else for my yoga studio and a different kind of color, maybe warm, like a warmer, soothing color for my bedroom. So yeah, I think it's a lot to do with space and mood and the connection that you have with.
I would give you something in gray, which I'll send you a picture later. It's a graffito from Iran, but I really like that. Or
Okay.
you go for something from Spain called gray chicken. Because the polish, and even though it's dark, it's soothing. It's like soothing,
Right.
with white streaks. It's just like uh, I can't go too much into the psychological factor. I don't know how to do it. But
And it's very difficult to describe it as well.
yeah, describe it once, and at least not in the proper mood to do so. Well, it's nice. It's subtle and peaceful rather than the bit. So I think everyone, Varsha, I would like to thank everybody that's been watching. I know it's a recorded session. I hope you guys can watch it at your own time. You can always, contact Varsha at her Instagram handle that I'll be telling you guys in a bit. So, but Varsha, before we wrap up, I am sure, you've spoken about yoga inspiration, how these guys can get started. So I'm the audience that is watching, the people that are watching on YouTube, they're watching on the other channels that they have. What are the top 3 yoga exercises that you recommend? What would you suggest? Is there something that you can share? Or you want to just talk? I mean, maybe they
Right.
can look it up later.
Yeah. So yoga, I mean, that could be very subjective. If you ask me for yoga postures, because it depends on what kind of condition, what are you looking for. But maybe I can just share with you some very simple yoga postures, which are one of my favorites.
Go ahead.
Let me just share my screen. So
yeah. Go ahead, please.
Okay. So my screen sharing is disabled. Yeah.
Disabled. Any names you want me to look at? I can Google them up and maybe help these guys. I can share my screen.
Yeah. Or if you make me the host, maybe I can share the screen.
Wait, I have to figure that out. Hold on.
Or if you go to screen share, you can just enable.
I just made you the host.
Yeah.
Can you get it?
Right. Give me one moment. Okay, I'll just share my screen and talk about this. I think you can see my screen now, right? Yeah. So this is a very simple posture. Everybody can do it. I'm sharing a few postures which people of any age can do. And this is called the Vitlasan Marjiryasan, which is basically the cat-cow posture. It's extremely good for the spine, keeps your spine curvature healthy, keeps it very, very subtle. This is also, in fact, all of the 3 I'm going to show you, you can practice it even just before you sleep, like you mentioned. Okay, so extremely therapeutic, this one. Bhujangasana, or the cobra pose, this again features in the Surya Namaskar. Most people in the audience would have tried, Surya Namaskar some point, in their life. So this is a beautiful heart opener. So it keeps the chest, lungs, and the heart really healthy. Also, anybody with back pain should definitely give this posture a try.
It definitely helps the lower back too, I'm guessing, right?
100%, yeah. Lower back pain, sciatica, we usually get them to do this posture. Even if you can't keep the elbows straight, you can do it with slightly bent elbows.
Okay.
And the last one here is Adho Mukha Shvasan, or the downward dog. In some other schools of yoga, it's also called the mountain pose or Parvatasana. So this again is an inversion, right? So head is going downwards. There's a lot of blood flow to the head through the spine. So it really helps you calm your system down. Very, very good for the nervous system. Yeah, so these are few of my favorite and basic.
I do these almost whenever I'm starting off. I do these even when I'm not doing yoga. This is something that downward dog, upward dog. You have maybe I'm not rattling off my knowledge, but Sphinx pose. There's a Sphinx. I don't know the Hindi name for it, but Sphinx pose. Then you have, and then you have the pyramid pose, and then you have the cobra pose. So all the 3 different levels of.
And although these seem very, very simple, but it has very, very good benefits.
I'm sure. So guys, Varsha, thank you so much. This conversation, has been really insightful. Thank you for taking out the time for us. With your knowledge and expertise, I'm sure our audience, the fans, family, everyone's that watching, have gathered a lot of crucial information on how to be healthier and through yoga, and also how to modify our homes using the kind of natural stones. They have a little bit idea, and also other spaces to suit their mind and body. And to engage in more conversation like these, I would suggest please follow us on Facebook. I'm doing a little marketing about ourselves now. So Millenium Marbles on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or other social media platforms. We do provide, as Varsha said earlier, free consultation for our spaces. And also, please follow Miss Varsha's social media handle, Instagram at Varsha Sutrave Wellness.
I'm on Varsha Sutrave Wellness on both Instagram and
Instagram.
Facebook.
Yeah, so, please follow her.
Yeah.
So, get yourself.
Thank you so much, Sourabh.
Yoga and topics. And thank you for tuning in, guys. Have a great day.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me. Also,
so thanks for being so patient, and thank you for answering
marbles.
Everything. It was lovely talking to you. We'll be in touch. Yeah.
Namaste, everyone. Yes,
we'll keep. Bye. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.